So before I started subjecting you to this phase, I created a series of instructional videos with the documents that I felt were more aligned to planning for the life you want to live as you age so that you can age on your terms. And that was the will, the trust, the healthcare power of attorney, advance directive, HIPAA authorization, and financial powers of attorney. There's so much more to it, but we're going to stick with those because those are the ones you really need. Now let's talk about the 3 things that you need to do now that you have those documents. Hi, I'm Vicki. Welcome back to my channel. Whether you're here intentionally or stumbled upon me by chance, I'm thrilled to have you here. First, you want to make sure you do periodic review and updates, because as we know, the only thing constant in this life is change. Family dynamics could change, you could relocate, tax laws change. You want to make sure you're keeping your documents up to date so that you don't miss someone or leave someone in that you didn't plan to. You also want to make sure you want to look at your life insurance policies or any policies that have a beneficiary. Make sure you're keeping those up to date too. And now I'm going to give you an example of why this is very, very important. So in 2008, the author of Jurassic Park, Michael Crichton, passed away at the age of 66 from laryngeal cancer. At the time, he had an adult daughter and a wife who had signed a prenup, so she's not considered an heir to his estate, but she was pregnant with his soon-to-be-born son. Unfortunately, he passed without updating his will. So when he died, everything went to the daughter, and the wife started this long legal battle to get inheritance for the son. Everybody knows he probably would have wanted to leave something for his son because he was leaving everything for the children, just cutting out all the ex-wives. But it took a lot of time and a lot of money in order for the son to inherit his part of dad's estate. So you want to really make sure that as you get married or get divorced, as you have kids or there's a kid coming on, you're fighting an illness. We all hope that we're going to survive, but we may not. So you want to make sure you make these updates timely so that what happened to Michael's son doesn't happen to your children or your heirs. Next, you want to keep your estate documents organized and somewhere where they can be located within your home, bank, or whatever the heck you're going to do. You can also look into electronic means like a hard drive or a secure cloud, but you want to make sure that they're somewhere safe and sound. And you all know the story of the time that my husband asked his dad, for copies of his trust and was told this.
Dad, in the unfortunate event that I need to act on your behalf, having a copy of your trust would make it easier. Where do you keep it?
You can get it from the lawyer after we pass.
So not only did he say that, but then he also said, well, everything that you need is going to be in a red envelope underneath my bathroom sink. And we all know paper and water go really well together, right? So my husband decided he needed to understand what was in these documents. His dad was not willing to share that information with him. And so one day we happened to kind of break into their house. I mean, he had a key, so he could get in there, but we waited till they were gone. He went to look for these documents to try to understand. And these documents weren't where Dad said they would be. So we made several more reconnaissance missions trying to find it. We couldn't find it. But something happened, and we always say things happen for a reason. And their trust attorney retired. They got a new trust attorney who wanted them to come in, notice some discrepancies in their documents. At this time, my husband wasn't going to let them drive that far, so he went with him. So he was able to understand what was in the trust, but he also was able to understand exactly what that trust documentation would look like. So one day we did another reconnaissance mission and we went over there with our printer and we photocopied that trust and then slipped that binder right back where his parents were storing it. Okay, easy peasy, no problem, we got it. But when my father-in-law was incapacitated and we tried to use the photocopies, some places wanted wet signatures. So we had to go back and steal the binder, but because we knew where it was completely fine. We were able to lift that out of the house, get the people the wet signatures that they needed. Hey there! If you haven't already done so, Now would be a good time to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. So then after we were able to get all the documents to the financial institutions, to the doctors and everything, he started to exercise the powers of attorney and started paying bills and paying their taxes and things like that. And we noticed that everything wasn't in the binder that we thought would be in the binder. So we're having to do another reconnaissance mission around the house to try to find the bills, the checkbook, the credit card statements, anything that was of importance in order for him to make sure their life was whole. And we found it everywhere. We found it in dresser drawers. We found it in bathroom vanities. We found it in kitchen cabinets. We found it mixed in with clothes in the closet. A few things were actually in the office where you would think they would be, but they were all over the place. So it's really, really important that you organize your documentation. If you don't have a place to organize it all, maybe you can make a list of everything that you have, the names of the companies, the account numbers, but you gotta be able to give your agents, whoever they are, your family, a professional agent, whoever it is, information in order to be able to manage this efficiently and expeditiously. I mean, when you're going to the hospital, you don't want to come back and find out your house has been repossessed, right? Or foreclosed on, I should say, and your car repossessed. So you want to really make sure you give them all the ammunition they need in order to help you.
You can get it from the lawyer after we pass.
But since a trust is meant to help you while you're alive, that was not the right answer. So when you create your documentation, you want to make sure that you are communicating to your family and to the agents that you select, your executor, your trustee, whoever it is, exactly what it is and what you expect of them. Statistics show that 50% of families don't even know if their parents actually have a trust, and 45% of the people who are listed as a trustee or an executor have no idea that they've actually been named to those posts. So if you don't communicate your wishes and make sure that these people that you named are either willing or able to do these jobs that you've given them, you're setting yourselves up for failure, because something will happen. These people are not going to be able to step up for you for two reasons. One, they don't know that they're supposed to. And two, they don't know how, or they weren't willing to do it. So having that communication, making sure everybody is on the same page, is in your best interest. Now, it worked out for us because we copied, then stole their trust. So we had everything that we needed when my father-in-law became incapacitated so that we could jump right in. However, if Dad would have just told us, shared with us, given us copies, we wouldn't have had to go through all of this hassle that we went through in order to help him. So by taking these steps, you're going to ensure that your wishes are going to be met and the people that you've identified are willing and able to step up. It will ensure that you have peace of mind knowing everything's going to be taken care of, and your family has peace of mind knowing exactly what's going to happen. I created a series of instructional, don't worry about it, I'll cut it out. Let's talk about the 3 things that you need to do after you've got them all. I shared the conversation between my husband and his father around gaining access to his trust. Crap, I just forgot the rest of it. Cut. So if you've made it this far with me, thank you so much for watching. If you have any experiences with this, want to share your personal experiences, drop a comment below. And if you found this information helpful, please like, share it with your friends, and I'll see you in the next video.